Alright, so I was thinking about this, and I think it's something that's very true. You know, not saying it much in a disrespectful way, but it's just the truth. Feces martial arts is mixed martial arts. So think about what feces is. Feces is a mixture of all different types of food. You know, you eat all this food, and then it gets digested, and then it gets turned into feces. You know, it's a mixture of everything that you've eaten through the day. So it is mixed. Now, when you mix things together, it's not necessarily a good thing. Look at feces. I mean, feces is waste. It's something that we don't want in our body. We have to get rid of it. And if we don't get rid of it, then we could die or get very, very sick. You know, so you eat all this food, it gets turned into feces, and we got to get rid of it. So mixed martial arts, feces martial arts, is something that we got to get rid of. You mixing all these different things, you having all these different martial artists fight with each other, and it's leading towards violence, excessive violence, and ego and pride, and just war. You know, it's like you're trying to mix in two different cultures, two different people in violent ways, not respectful ways, but in disrespectful ways. You're trying to prove what style is better than what style, and you're just having everybody go to war. You know, it's like having a mass world war. You know, America versus Korea, and Korea versus China, and Italy versus Germany. It's just like having everybody go to war with each other to see who's better or who's more powerful. I mean, it's just going to destroy the whole world. So the feces martial arts, the mixed martial arts, is destroying the martial arts community. It's making it so then people are not friends. Boxers, you know, don't want to be friends with wrestlers. You know, the BJJ doesn't want to be friends with karate. You know, the Muay Thai don't want to be friends with Kung Fu. I mean, everybody's just fighting with each other, you know, to prove which style is more powerful. And really, look at food. You know, like, there's feces, which is waste, which we got to get rid of. We don't even want to see it. We got to get rid of it. We got to flush it down the toilet, let it go down into the sewer system. We don't want to see none of that. You know, we don't want to see it on the dinner table. We don't want to see it on the floor outside. We don't want to see it on our seat. We don't want to see it on our car. We don't want to see it on our bed. We don't want to see it anywhere. The feces is something that we got to get rid of. But what about food? You know, good food that is, you know, true to its culture. You know, you got Chinese food, you got Italian food, you got Thai food, you got Japanese food, you got, you know, Indian food. You know, you got food from all over the world. And when the food is pure to its culture, there's beauty to it, there's value to it. That's why we spend all this money on Chinese food, on sushi, on Italian food, on, you know, African food, Ethiopian food. I mean, there's all these different types of food that we spend money on and that we want to consume, we want to eat, because there's a value there. Now, if you try to mix in, you know, Chinese food with Italian food and put Chinese stir fry on top of pizza, or mix in the Chinese stir fry with Italian pasta, that mixing is not, mixing two different cultures of food that's not meant to be mixed together is not necessarily a good thing. It could actually be disgusting. So we need to learn to separate these different cultures and appreciate the culture for what it is. So every single martial art out there, there's value in each art. There's not one that's better than another. It's just different. You know, there's just different arts in different cultures. You know, even something like capoeira from, you know, from Brazil, there's some beauty to that. That's their expression. Then there's the Kung Fu, you know, the Tai Chi, you know, there's the Japanese arts like Aikido, there's judo, there's taekwondo, tang sudo, there's the Thai, Muay Thai, like there's the Kali, the Filipino martial arts. I mean, there are so many different martial arts in different countries, different cultures. They're different. They're different for a reason. They have been purposely made different to separate themselves from everybody else. And differences are good. We're not all the same. So we could appreciate each art for what it is and not have to feel a need to mix it all together and turn it into feces martial arts, mixed martial arts. It's like, find the culture, find the style or the art that connects with your soul, and then become a part of that. Practice that, master that, represent that. And if there's no art out there that connects with your soul, then create the perfect art for you, and then promote your art to the world and have your art become one of the great arts that have ever existed. Just like what Bruce Lee did with Jeet Kune Do. Wing Chun wasn't good enough. Boxing wasn't good enough. Wrestling wasn't good enough. Kickboxing wasn't good enough. Muay Thai and all these other, karate and all these things that were in existence were not good enough. He needed to create his own that was best for him and that made sense to him. And he created his own, promoted his own, and even to this day, people still talk about Jeet Kune Do. Something that he created. You could do that as well. You could create your own art if you can't find an art out there that connects with your soul. But this whole thing with the feces martial arts, this mixed martial arts, it literally is feces. It's waste that we do not want. We don't want it in our body. We don't want it in our homes. We want to get rid of it because it's waste. And that's what mixed martial arts is. It's a complete waste. You got to get rid of it. Don't watch the videos. Don't spend money on it. Don't support it. Don't even talk about it. It is a complete waste. But there's beauty to each and every art in itself. And that's what the feces martial arts, the mixed martial arts, that's how they make their money. By exploiting the pure arts. They want to see a Kung Fu master fight against a karate master. They want to see a Muay Thai master fight against an Aikido master. They want to see the real martial art masters go at it. And they want to make money off of that. But real martial art masters, they don't fight for entertainment. They spar to learn more about bettering their arts, to experiment with techniques. They spar, but they spar in with respect, and they spar with intelligence. They spar relatively safely. It's not for entertainment. It's not to make the people clap. It's for their own benefit in improving upon their art. And that is not something that's supposed to be exploited in the ways that they're trying to exploit it. So whatever's going on in that cage is wrong. No matter if it's happening in America or happening in China or happening in Canada or Africa. That cage fighting, the feces martial arts, the mixed martial arts is wrong, and we need to eliminate it. We are human beings. We are classier than that. We are more developed than that. That's not something that we should be entertained by. That's not something that we should want our children to get involved in. That's not something that we would want that we should get involved in. No matter if we get involved in it ourselves or if we're paying money to see it or we're spending time to attend those events, None of that should be going on, you know. And martial arts is about evolution, you know, evolution towards peace, not further, you know, into violence. So when you practice martial arts, it should bring health, it should bring peace, it should bring relaxation and serenity, happiness, harmony, balance, qualities of which will help us become better human beings. But Feces martial arts, mixed martial arts, is not pointing you towards that direction. If anything, it's pointing you towards the opposite of that. You know, and think about it. Just think about it. Everything that we eat, it gets mixed together. And once it gets mixed together, what do we do with it? We get rid of it. You know, there's no value to it. There's no value to that feces. And look, they called it mixed martial arts. But you know that that's a trick to your mind to make you think that there's value in it. But in actuality, this is feces martial arts. It's garbage. It's waste. Get rid of it. You know, focus on the purity of things that have value. Like real food from real cultures. Things of which we spend money on. Because we might love Chinese food. We might love Italian food. We might love Japanese food. We might love Korean food. Every single culture has their value in the foods that they create for our consumption. And it's a beautiful thing. But don't mix it all together and make it seem as, oh, everything's combined together is better than each separate expression. No. You know, because once you combine everything together, you distort the purity of the essence, the purity of that one individual expression. You know, so think about that. You know, think about that.